Alright, settle down. My name is Barry McBarrington. I won't write it up on the board, I don't really have one. Today we're going to do a deep dive on Creative Commons. But before we start, does anyone have any questions? Yeah, I've got a question. Yeah, what is it? So if a train's doing 30, heading north, between Flippington and Humptyville, look, I'm going to stop you right there. A, this is Copyright 101, and B, shut up. Now, moving on. You already know a bit about copyright. It's a lumbersome beast that struggles to keep up with the cultural and technological changes at the best of times. So when we look back to what happened in the 90s, we can see one of the big things that came along that caused tons of tension. Was it Cape Fear? That was a really tense movie. Good try, but no. It was the internet. The internet came along, making it so much easier to copy and distribute content. My mum's 56 KB a second modem would have something to say about that, sir. Look, that's a valid point. Sure, when the internet first came along, it wasn't as good as it is now. But in 1999, if you installed Napster, you could still get a song down pretty quickly, even using a 56 KB modem. Not that you would, because that would be copyright infringement. Shh, don't steal things. It's not really stealing, but you wouldn't, borrow things. You wouldn't steal a car, but you would copy one, right? The internet is a place where ideas and culture could be exchanged and people could sing and dance, skip hand in hand, and world peace was only a short step away. Copyright, though, protected the rights of copying and communication. When you have those two opposing forces, copyright and the internet, one thing stopping copying and one thing allowing copying, what you get in the middle? Is it tension? That's right, good job, here, have a star. Oh, thanks, sir. Creative Commons seeks to relieve the tension between the awesome capabilities of the internet and the restrictiveness of copyright. It's like a pressure valve that works within the laws of copyright, allowing people to share, reuse, and all that lovely stuff, just as the internet intended. Hooray, hooray, yay, 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 hooray! But before Creative Commons came along, a great evil rose up in the land, the Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act. Boo, boo, yeah, boo, no one likes that, yeah, boo. So, member nations of TRIPS, that's something you can look up. TRIPS is an international copyright agreement between lots of different countries. It's your homework. Anyway, member nations of TRIPS have to make copyright last up to 50 years, at least 50 years, unless it's based on the death of the author, which a lot of people do. The EU, at some point, extended their copyright to 70 years past the death of the author. And the USA were like, whoa, we can't have these evil Europeans having a longer copyright term than us. How dare they? Yeah, how dare they? That is so rude of them. Sticky Europeans. Hey, I'm European. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was just be nice. Yeah, be nice. Sorry, wrong. What about Australia, sir? Did we extend our copyright too? Not until we signed the FTA with America. We'll talk about that later. But we got fair use when we signed that, didn't we? Yeah, you're funny. You're funny. You're a good. You're a good guy. Here, have a star. Oh, thanks, sir. 70 years after the death of the creator is a huge time. Much longer than the forefathers of copyright would have imagined when the Berne Convention was written, or even the Statute of Anne. Those are really old things. Look them up later. People live a long time these days after all. Star Wars was written before I was born, and George Lucas is still not dead, so Star Wars probably won't go to copyright until after I'm dead. Does that sound right to you? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. It's a good question, and people have differing opinions. But let's move on. A man named Mr. Eldridge, who challenged the Bono Act in the courts, did not really think it was good to have such a long copyright term. Now, Mr. Eric Eldridge made a bit of a business or a hobby from republishing out of copyright works. But if one laid the reason behind the challenge just on his personal interest, that would be a mistake and wrong. Don't do that. Oh, what's wrong with this desk? It's okay. It was a fight for the public domain because there is value to the public in copyright expiring, and extending the length is a step in the wrong direction. So, sir, Apple can make obscene profits from selling iPhones forever, but only can make obscene profits from a story for a certain amount of time. Oh no! Oops! Just fix this. Don't do that again. Okay, so it's a bit different. Apple makes lots of money from making technology, which comes under patents, and patents only last a certain amount of time. And they always make new things, constantly. Constantly new, alright? Because things become obsolete. Hopefully the new things are better, but then we'll see about that. Now, orange is the new black does not become obsolete. So, while you can't breathe new life into an iPhone 1, you can breathe new life into a TV show that's come out of copyright. Did you just compare oranges to apples, sir? A second law came in afterwards, the No Electronic Theft Act, which made it possible to be convicted for copyright infringement, even if you were not making money from what you were doing. So a lawyer named Lawrence Lessig came in to the scene after that point and joined the fight. Now, Mr. Lessig, he represented the case in all the courts, and it went all the way up to the Supreme Court, which is a big deal. The US Supreme Court is like the peak court. You can't go any higher. There's nothing higher. There's no king or anything like that above the Supreme Court. Supreme Court is the bee's knees. But spoiler alert, they lost. And if you want to find out why they lost, you can read Lessig's article, How I Lost the Big One, where he sort of explains it. He thinks they could have won it. It's debatable. People have been debating about it. You can debate it later if you want. What's this got to do with Creative Commons, sir? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. You see, Lessig, Eldridge, and another fellow named Hal Abelson founded Creative Commons, the organisation. See, the copyright left movement had been around for a while, but what these chaps did was far more effective in my opinion. They created a group of licenses that would allow people to keep their copyright, and at the same time set clear and simple terms on how their work could be shared and reused. The system exists within the world's copyright laws. So using Creative Commons licensed work is great because the creator gives you permission to use their work under the terms that they want without you needing to ask for permission. This allows copying and communication just as the internet intended. How awesome is that? And now there are 2 billion Creative Commons resources out there. Maybe more, probably more. If you add that to what is already in the public domain, that is a huge amount of content for creators to use and make new cool things with. Whoa, that's amazing. Whoa, yeah, go Creative Commons, it's the best, y'all. I know, right? But it's more than just some licenses. The Creative Commons organization is part of an ideal. For 20 years, they have been advocates for open education and making information and culture accessible across the entire world. They advance better sharing across the globe, and in doing so, help people build upon that shared information and culture. How can we get involved? There are plenty ways to get involved, my young Padawan. Let me just get back here, and I'll scroll down on my script. You can follow Creative Commons on the social medias. You can share your own work under Creative Commons licenses. You can even donate a few dollars. Your students, you probably don't have any, but you could. Or you could do the Creative Commons certificate course to learn more, like I did, or have, or I'm doing. I don't know, it's pretty meta. But a great way to get involved is to join the Creative Commons Global Network. It is a home to all those looking to strengthen the Commons ideal around the world. And if you would like, you could also create a video to help celebrate Creative Commons' 20th year. Spread the word! Okay, class dismissed. Yay.